one. All right, welcome to Soundbites, and this is Jeffrey McAndrew. I'm president of the Wordsmiths, and we're at the Wordsmiths meeting actually doing these in front of the group, and we have Eric with us, and he's a relatively new member of the Wordsmiths, and thanks for joining us on Soundbites.
Thank you for having me.
It's really cool. And you're working on a novel, which we can talk about just a little bit here, but tell me a bit why do you write? What do you get out of writing? What are the main things you...
Well, I feel that a lot of times what you want to say to somebody out in public or something, you might not come across, and that it's really hard to explain in a social situation. So it's a lot easier to write it down on paper, and I think it's a more creative way and a not so destructive way of putting your feelings out there. You know, you're not taking your anger out on an object physically or, you know, a person or anything like that. And I just like seeing the different creativity and the different writers around the group.
That is a great way to explain it. And Eric, tell us a bit about what do you get out of the Wordsmiths when you come to the Wordsmiths meeting?
I just really like the group. You know, there seems to be no judgment. We're all on the same level with things that we talk about.
Yeah.
And I feel we're all very supportive of each other's wishes and dreams.
There's like a camaraderie here, isn't there?
Yeah.
We can joke around, and you even accept my dad jokes. And you've got better
I throw
dad
some
jokes.
In there too.
You have better dad jokes than I do, I think. You one-up me every day. But so just to conclude here, I know you're working on like a novel, which some fascinating, and you shared at the spring open mic.
Yes.
Some of that sounds like a fascinating project. Tell us a bit about your project.
So I was kind of bored one day, just at work, and I started writing off some things here, and it's a story about, you know, people make mistakes, but then they get a chance for retribution, based more in a fantasy world where the guy has to go through different trials and tribulations to regain pieces of his soul. So
Wow,
it's
cool.
called Maskwa, the God of Judgment.
Wow, that sounds heavy stuff. Do you have have you mapped out about how it's going to end yet, or is it still sort of a work in?
Sort of a work in progress. Just it's a struggle coming up with enough content to make it enough pages, and you know, I don't want to be too repetitive with the story either. So, work in progress.
Yeah, I think to those of us who've written novels, you just never know when it's done. And one of the biggest things is knowing when it's done. Thanks, Eric, for joining us on Soundbites here on the Poet Laureate channel.
I appreciate you.
All right, thanks. And go Wordsmiths. Thank you. Thanks, Eric.